Back on Good Morning Football, former New Orleans Saints safety Steve Gleason was diagnosed with ALS back in 2011. And since that diagnosis, he's dedicated his life to improving the lives of others battling ALS. And in December, Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy sponsored a successful bipartisan bill to award Gleason with the Congressional Gold Medal. And on January 3rd, President Trump signed the legislation into law. I'm so pleased and honored to be welcoming to Good Morning Football the man who made it all happen, Senator Bill Cassidy, joining us now live from Washington, D.C. Senator, welcome to Good Morning Football.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us so bright and early. First, could you please explain to people who may be watching that may not know, what is the Congressional Gold Medal and why is it such a distinguished honor?
The Congressional Gold Medal is the highest honor Congress can give and gives to those who make unique contributions to the culture, to the life, to the ethic of the United States. Previous awardees have included General MacArthur, Mother Teresa, Jackie Robinson, and that kind of gives a flavor of who it is and the breadth of what it is. I like Steve. Steve will be the first disabled or differently abled American who will receive the award, and I think his contribution to our ethic is equal to those who have previously gone before him.
In the company of icons, that's incredible. The NFL fans know Steve Gleason as this tremendous competitor on the field, Senator. But off the field, he seems to work even harder. He started Team Gleason, whose mantra is no white flags. He also founded the Gleason Initiative Foundation. How big of an impact has Gleason had on the ALS community?
Tremendous impact. One, it gives folks with ALS hope. Hope that their life can have meaning even after being stricken with a terrible disease. But let's take it beyond the ALS. It is hope for all those with disability who sometimes are not recognized for their value by the able community, and yet now here's a man who in his terrible disability clearly adds value. And I will say, he actually gives hope for all Americans. Some folks feel like their life cannot have meaning. Steve has lived his life with incredible meaning, given himself for the cause of others, and that is something that every American, whoever she or he is, can take encouragement from.
Senator Cassidy, you mentioned Jackie Robinson's name. I'm going to read a list of 7 names who have received the Congressional Gold Medal. Roberto Clemente, Joe Louis, Jesse Owens, the aforementioned Jackie Robinson, Byron Nelson, Arnold Palmer, and Jack Nicklaus. Steve Gleason is the first ever athlete from the NFL to receive this, and there is such a long-lasting legacy that comes with the honor. What was Steve's reaction when he heard the news that he'll be joining that list?
Steve and I spoke by phone, and as you may know, one of Steve's contributions, he worked with Microsoft to develop hardware and software so that when he speaks, you hear his voice. Now, it takes him a little bit of time to compose a paragraph because he's moving his eyes and he clicks on this and this and this, but you hear Steve Gleason's voice, even though his vocal cords are paralyzed. And he had a recorded voice, and he expressed gratitude. He expressed gratitude and hope that his efforts would contribute and have meaning for others. That's kind of Steve's ethic. That's one of the reasons that he was recognized by Congress.
Senator, you grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You attended LSU. You are Louisiana through and through. Take us back to September 25th, 2006. The Saints were hosting the Falcons in the reopening of the Superdome after Hurricane Katrina. On the Falcons' opening drive, Steve Gleason blocked a punt, and it was returned for a Saints touchdown. It was a huge moment for the state of Louisiana. That play is immortalized outside the Superdome in a 9-foot statue entitled Rebirth. Senator, what does Gleason mean to the city of New Orleans?
If you're from Louisiana or Mississippi, if you're not from there, you cannot understand how much it meant. We had been hit by Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. There were people who were plausibly saying they should abandon the city of New Orleans. We should just close it down and not rebuild. The Superdome was blown open. Some folks said the Saints should move to another city. And in that, the city came back. The dome was replaced. That was the first game back in the Superdome after they had been displaced after Hurricane Katrina. They had played their games up in Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. So here's a city that was not supposed to be rebuilt, a dome that had been destroyed, and we're playing our arch rivals. When Steve blocked that punt and it goes for a touchdown, the Superdome erupted. It just erupted. It was the emotion, the pent-up emotion of everyone that said it could not be done, but it had been done.
We want to thank you for joining us, Senator Cassidy. Do you also want to say a little Go Saints to your squad down there? We'll give the floor is yours.
Who dat?
Who that?
That's all you need to say.
Enough said.
Hearing that, we were talking earlier in the show about the impact and the effect that Steve Gleason had on the NFL, and it is so incredible that the impact that he's made beyond it and on Americans and on people struggling and battling ALS every day is also being recognized due to your hard work. So we appreciate and thank you for your time and all of your efforts with that. It is the unforgettable story of Steve Gleason, along with a dramatic push for his Congressional Gold Medal, and it can be seen on a special episode of NFL 360, premiering on Tuesday, January 15th. At 8 p.m. on NFL Network. Senator Cassidy, who just had to go do some fancy things, I'm sure. Thank you so much for your time.